What's up, boys? Today I'm going to be checking out the 1.3 update for Path of Achra, an actual roguelike. So the main thing I'm going to be building around here is a skill that causes damage whenever I move, and also gives me a ramping buff that adds a +5 to all damage dealt. And the flat damage buffs in this game seem extremely powerful since they seem to apply to almost all instances of damage. And then combined with that, I'm going to be going for this prestige class down here, which causes even more damage whenever I move, and also applies even more of the charge buff to myself whenever I deal lightning or astral damage. And then you can see there's an absolute ton of customization in this game. I don't really have any cultures or classes unlocked currently that will scale extremely well with this, but I have some okay ones. Whenever this guy attacks, he'll apply 2 more charge plus deal some global lightning damage. This guy, whenever I step, I can attack someone who's right next to me, and hopefully I can pull that off, but I might be a bit on the squishy side. But we do have a bunch of bonus dodge based on my speed, plus a big speed boost, and then there's some various useful prayers here. I can heal myself based on my speed, I can remove a few debuffs, and then later on I can deal a bunch of slash damage in a 2-tile range. But let's go ahead and get started. So dexterity and willpower are both pretty important, so let's go ahead and increase the speed and dodge for the early game. And then for the skills, I'm 1 point away from having 12 points for the second level in the lightning thing. Since the skill level ramps up both the damage and the charges applied, getting a second level and that will almost quadruple my damage, so I'm going to wait for 1 more point on that before I go for anything else. So we're exploring around, and if there are any enemies like that one right there, I'll do damage to them whenever I move within a certain range. I don't even have to attack, but if I move right next to them, I actually do get some free attacks and that global lightning damage. So I should go for some of that. And then as I move, everything just dies. So on to the next floor. Oh yeah, I don't even have to be near them to generate the charges, and those give massive damage, so it's actually in my best interest to sort of move around outside of combat for a bit so I get massive damage whenever I'm in combat. Let's get a little bit of willpower to go with that. Oh yeah, I should take a look at my items real quick. So I'm starting with a lance and a sword dual-wielded, and I have 3 strength with 6 encumbrance. So that's reducing my speed and dodge a bit. I may want some strength to help mitigate that. And now we have the extra point, so Electromancy should deal a lot more damage and give me some more speed and all. We'll ramp up the charges even faster now. And they're all dead. Oh yeah, there's also a ton of different items in the game that can customize your build even further. But there's so many and they're kind of RNG, so I don't tend to build for those as much. Let's see, this guy has 1 range, so I can just move around and let him die at long range. So also I gain some life. I don't think armor is going to be relevant for me, but a bit of resistances as well, so that'll help out my speed anyways, and we're already up to 50. The speed gives you basically extra actions for every turn in the game, up to 100, but there's diminishing returns as you get close to that. So at 50 I'm probably getting pretty good value, but I will want to get to 100 eventually. And they're all dead to the movement. Got a few items, I don't think any of those are super useful to me. On standing still you teleport and attack an enemy. Sounds kind of risky, I'm not going to be standing still. On initial attack per empty armor slot, perform an extra attack. Initial attack is a specific action where you click on an enemy and attack them. I will be attacking, but I don't think I'll be initial attacking, so probably not useful. On being healed, apply Inflame, which is an accuracy and hit debuff, or buff I mean. Has a ton of encumbrance, probably not using any of these. Might wait until I get something more useful. If you sacrifice an item, you get a permanent life boost, and you also boost the item in that slot as well. Okay, so here we can actually choose from some paths based on the items they have. On dealing lightning damage, 25% is dealt again as fire. That's pretty good. Death, no. On standing still, no. A two-hand weapon, it looks like. Area of two-handing. Apply blind. It's actually not terrible, and it has pretty low encumbrance. Wouldn't be bad. Dealing fire. Physical and death ignores resistances. Poison on standing still or poison damage, nope. On shrug off, that's an armor thing. So there's a couple somewhat useful things here. Oh, I didn't see this one. Oh, on dealing lightning, apply 1 charge. Okay, that's one of the best in slot items for the build, actually. Fire and pierce. On step, deal lightning damage in a path to 2 enemies at any range. Okay, that one's also very good. So we have to take this path. Let's look at the enemies here. 4 range. That might be kind of rough. I'll have to be a bit careful with those guys, and those have 3 range. But I definitely want those items. Let's see, I could use some more strength. And then at 2 points there was something over here, I think. No, it's 4 points for that one actually, so we need a few more levels. I don't think I have a whole lot to deal with super long range enemies. So I think what I want to do is try and pull them towards line of sight somewhere. If I can keep moving while doing that. Okay, we're in a very wide open area without a lot of cover. I can kind of move a bit here and build up some charge. And maybe he'll move close as I run around. Okay, we can one-shot them with the huge charge stacks. That's plus 125 damage to everything already. So if I can just sort of bait them to me a bit, then they'll pretty much combust almost instantly. They have 9 speed, so I'm also much faster than them. Okay, there we go. Another strength, and that should bring our encumbrance to parity. So no more speed and dodge penalty for that, and I got a bit of extra life from it. Oh yeah, this is actually a pretty good place unless they come over here. They'll most likely come through here and then they'll just get zapped instantly and I'm just building up charge already. And I guess they're already dead. Alright, so maybe I can head over here, funnel them around this area, and build up charge at the same time. I'm basically just trying to ramp up my buffs and bring them into sort of mid-range. You guys probably close now? Okay, there we go. And that was the item floor. So we can dual wield these staff items and become completely insane for a lightning build now. And I can sacrifice items to them already. Let's see, that one has quite a bit of lightning damage on hit as well. This one is definitely best in slot. I'm not sure if this one is, so we'll want to sacrifice items to this, put that in main hand, and an offhand, and then we can sacrifice all of the items. So that one gives me 50 accuracy, 20 hit, 1 block to that weapon, and then they always get 20 max life for some extra survivability. So now the stats on that are much higher and I have a lot more life. And my encumbrance is down a bit since these are quite light on that. So we have another 2 paths to choose here. Inflame. On standstill, that's probably never going to happen. Inflame. On attack, apply 5 meditate to yourself. Oh, you deal fire damage as well to yourself? Probably not. Okay, there's nothing super important here. If I can take this path, then I'll have a lot more items to sacrifice for HP. I'm mainly interested in the range on enemies since I can just ramp up and blast them as long as I'm safe. And the highest range here is 2, so this shouldn't be too bad. Let's get a bit more willpower. 10% damage every level is quite good, plus some healing and chance to recover from harmful effects. Oh yeah, I forgot to go over the prayer system. These are basically the only active actions you can take in the game. So this one heals me a ton based on my speed. These ones will unlock at higher levels, but I don't have them yet. But I've just been blasting everything and haven't needed to heal yet. So we can go ahead and grab the Master Charge. And the main thing for this is the +1 speed per stack of charge. That should allow me to get 100 speed eventually and fairly easily. But if I can move next to enemies for the free hit, then I can also apply even more charge stacks to myself. And once I get 25 lightning plus astral spent up here, I'll be able to take my prestige class, which are powerful evolutions basically to your base character. Alright, so let's ramp up some charge here, and now you can see the lightning damage thing at any range is kind of popping off, and it deals damage based on my speed as well. And I think the charge should apply to that. Let's see, I'm shocking them, and it's getting +70 from the charge and +52 from the willpower % bonus. So yeah, even a small amount of damage like that will ramp up pretty heavily with a charge build. And they're all dead. Let's see, these guys are kind of close. So I guess I'll try and stay on the outskirts here as I'm ramping up. Let's get a bit more dexterity. And then if I can move down here a bit, I can use the path damage to AoE all these guys at the same time, like that. Man, those items are an insane start for this build. Crazy. Let's see, there's a bunch over here. Let's scout on this side. Oh, I'm actually not able to move anywhere over here, I think. So, kind of in a corner. But I can just zap everything right now. Let's get a bit more willpower. So we do have a 2-range guy right there. He only has 200 HP though, so he should die pretty quickly. I think I'm going to grab a few points on Vigor as well. This doesn't give a lot of extra stuff, but it's the highest increase to life, so it'll be the best stat to help protect me from one-shots, I think. And you've seen the scaling the build has, so I think as long as I don't get one-shot, I should have very good damage as the round proceeds. There's a lot of stuff down here. I can maybe run up through here. And my speed is also so much higher than them that they can't really take a lot of actions compared to me. We have 4 skill points now. I may want to grab another point into the Electromancy next because it increases damage so much. So 2 more to do that. These guys have 250 HP, 1 range. Should be pretty easy. Oh, I have my second prayer unlocked now. If I ever get debuffed, looks like those are mostly focused on speed debuffs as well. And Tangle and Freeze both reduce your speed and dodge, I believe. And then Sickness reduces your hit damage, which isn't super relevant, but they all deal damage in some way, so it's kind of nice to have for emergencies. Oh yeah, and if you have a prayer at maximum stacks, then if you die, you will expend all of those stacks to revive at 25% HP. So just having a lot of stacks on them can also help prevent one-shots on you as well. Which is probably going to be pretty relevant to a kind of low HP, 0 armor or block build. The Burrow King. Okay, we have a boss here. Let's check him out. He attacks with pierce damage and melee. If an enemy steps into an adjacent tile, he performs an extra attack. So we will not be going for the free attacks and melee on him. On an ally death, he also gets a free attack, and then whenever he hits, he applies a bunch of debuffs. On player step, he gets a buff, but I mean, I'm all about stepping, and I can probably shred him from long range anyways. And then on the start of the level, he summons a bunch of stuff, which probably also isn't an issue with all this lightning flying around. So we're just going to sit over here at max range, get a ton of charges, and then he's probably going to die before I even see him, to be honest. Yeah, there we go. He's already dead. There is a helmet that allows you to apply standstill effects when you move much later in the game, but this is also a helmet, so I couldn't ever use those. On attack, oh yeah, that's a self-damage. I can sacrifice that since it's a weapon slot. That has a lot of encumbrance and inflexibility, and it scales with strength. It's honestly has pretty good stats, but I don't think I want the encumbrance on it. Undealing physical, probably not. So I'll probably just hold on to those until I get some items that I can sacrifice for those slots. Oh, I have 6 points, so we can grab the extra level in that now. So now it's up to 3 charges every movement, and speed times the skill level for the damage. But we're also ramping up to a ton of speed. I'm at 139 right now. But the bonus actions cap at 100. Inflame. On kill apply Scorch. On attack deal Slash to an adjacent enemy. On attacker standstill Ice. On dealing death Ice. I don't think any of those really matter to me, so we'll go for the 3 items I think. 1 range, 3 range. Okay, we'll have to be a bit careful about the priest there then. Oh, I am in a small, very low mobility area. I think there was something right next to me, but I absolutely blasted him and gained a ton of charges, it looks like. Yeah, I did the adjacent attacks on him for a bunch of 271 hits there, and then a bunch of shocks on top of that. So there was a guy next to me, but he got wrecked. Okay, there's a bunch of guys over there. Let's, I guess, move over here and ramp up a bit. Okay, this side is clear now with my global damage. Let's grab a bit more willpower. Honestly, all the stats are pretty good for me. The strength is great when I'm reducing encumbrance, which I'm not right now, but as I gain more armor items, I may need some more of that. And then dexterity is dodge and, well, my speed is actually capped. Yeah, I think dexterity isn't great for me anymore, but it was good early on. It mainly scales up this, I guess? Extra dodge? Oh, actually, this thing scales with speed, so it's not terrible, but I think willpower is probably my best damage stat currently. And those guys are all zapped. Let's see, I need 3 more points. That might be a little bit awkward. I meant to grab this astral thing as well. I think you might need both elements for the thing you want. I don't think you can do just lightning. I'm not sure on that. I'm still kind of new to the game. So let's move around the entrance and ramp up here. These guys still have pretty low speed, so I get so many actions compared to them. And they're all dead. We have a bunch of range 1 guys over here. Range 1 isn't really threatening to me, so I can freely move up here if I want to. Let's grab another Vigor for some HP. Oh yeah, 2 points. I can go ahead and grab the astral thing. Whenever I attack, I'll deal astral damage, and then on hit, I'll deal even more astral damage. It's not super relevant right now, but once I get my prestige class, it'll be pretty helpful. And I'm 1 skill away from getting that. Although you can't buy anything for 1 skill, so I'll need a couple more points probably. Maybe you could have planned that out a bit better to get it right at 25 points, but oh well. And we don't need any of those. We can go ahead and sacrifice the weapon since we have the best in slot there. Oops, I'm wielding. Not... That's the wrong thing. Okay, I have the 2 correct weapons. Sacrifice. So we have 2 paths here. Killing an enemy, a summon-based thing, nope. Corrosion, Scorch, Standstill, and on armor or block. So none of them are relevant, but there's more items to sacrifice here. And it's the same enemies, it looks like. is kind of a weird area. No matter where I step, I can't really see outside. So I guess hopefully there won't be a lot of enemies up here. Okay, there are, so I guess let's just move around here. That guy's one of the one range, so he's not really threatening to me. I can even step next to him to instantly finish him off and get some more charge. And then I can just run up here until they all die from the global damage. Let's grab a bit more life since I think we have a great build going and I don't want to lose it. 49 charge, almost 200 damage on everything. And you can kind of tell where a lot of the enemies are based on where the lightning is traveling to anyways. So I think one more point will allow me to get the class evolution. Oh, that's it, isn't it? I'll eventually want this, and it's pretty cheap and will get me the class thing anyways. On adjacent or non-adjacent hit, I'll deal even more lightning damage, and on dodge, I'll deal even more lightning damage as well. So we can go ahead and grab that. You always have the Paragon unlocked, but that's kind of a standstill buffing thing. And of course we want this. On every step I'll deal global damage, it looks like, to up to 4 enemies, and every single instance of lightning or astral damage will generate even more charge for me. Sounds absolutely insane here. So now our range damage is even better, and we ramp up the flat damage even faster on top of that. And they're all dead. We can go ahead and sacrifice the weapons again. So that has quite a bit of lightning damage on hit if I ever need to use that. And our life is going up even more. Let's see, 2 paths here. Psychic, Bare Fist, Psychic. Adjacent dodge, but it's based on empty armor slots. I think I will eventually fill up all of my armor, plus it's a weapon, so not very useful. Ice weapon, a shield. So nothing great, but more items here. One range. Looks fine to me. Lots of guys over here. It looks like one up here. So this guy's coming at me, bro. They do have a lot of HP. Oh, that's kind of bad. In fact, I can't even step here. That's actually really bad. So I guess I'll have to attack here instead of doing anything else. I do have some attack bonuses. I have 1750 dodge. So I should have a 90% chance to dodge them at least. Let's try and finish this guy off. Let's grab some more life here. Okay, I finished both of them off and I can freely move around and then everything else is dead. But that was a little bit risky for a bit since I am somewhat squishy if they can actually hit me. Let's grab some more damage. We have an enemy right there and a bunch over here. So I guess I'll just head up and finish this guy off if needed. Then we'll kite up away from those. Looks like there's a bunch over there now. Let's see, what would I want to level up next? I could probably grab another Electromancy for even more damage and charge generation. I think these are all one-pointers just for the unique effects they have and not really for the scaling. And then one more level on that and I'll probably look for some more unique effects that I can gain. So we can go ahead and sacrifice the hand slots here. Apply bleed, nope. 3 stacks of scorch. On kill, apply scorch to enemies in a 4-tile range. I mean, it's kind of useful for 1 encumbrance. Oh, that actually applies evasion on attack. That's actually kind of useful currently. I guess I'll sacrifice a couple helmets to that. You might lose some stats in the long run by doing this, but it could help you survive in the short term. Oh, we have the 3rd prayer now as well. So I can do a big burst of slash damage in a 2-tile range if I get surrounded again. Or I can just hold it for the divine intervention res. So we have 3 paths here. Shield, poison, shrug off is armor. A weird helmet that would destroy my dodge and speed, nope. Dealing fire or lightning damage, apply 1 inflame to yourself, remove scorch and freeze. That's not bad. I believe necklaces are an armor slot. Bleed. On hit, teleport to the target, nope. Fire, 2-handing. Fire staff, standstill or kill. Inflexibility, not gonna have any of that. Slash damage based on speed, it's not terrible, but my weapons are pretty solid already. That would be useful if I don't have any armor yet, which I don't. So we will definitely want that one then. Potentially remove Scorch and Freeze. The Inflame isn't amazing, but if I ever have to melee attack again, it actually will be pretty helpful. And the enemies, 1 range. Those have 2 range. There's a chunky boss there, but everything else is pretty squishy as well in 1 range, so it shouldn't be too bad. So it looks like a lot of enemies up in this direction. That guy looks to be dead, so I can just kite over here now. Looks like enemies up here and here. These ones should be softened up, so I'll head over here now, I think. He has 8 HP left, so that's fine. Okay, that actually hurt a bit. What hit me? Should they have died instantly? I don't know, there's just so much in here. Looks like he somehow hit me first. I don't know, I feel like I should outspeed him there. Oh, I can use this to heal my HP back up. We gain 1 charge whenever we kill with that. Bunch of guys here, and they're the 2 range ones. They have 250 hit, 100 accuracy. So I should have 90% chance to dodge that. And they don't do that much damage. I can probably run over and melee this guy with the free hits I have. Yeah, he's gone, and that'll ramp us up even faster. I think I want to be careful about slots that can only move in 1 direction, since it's easy to lock me in place there, and I kind of need to step on this build. Let's see, let's go some more willpower. Got my 6th point, so we can get another level in Electromancy. And then that's probably good for a while. Let's see, next. There were some decent lightning things. I'm dealing Pierce or Slash. I can deal some extra lightning. I do have Slash on this if I move in a 3-tile range. And then the prayers deal Slash as well. So there is some use there. Accuracy and dodge are also kind of useful. Dealing lightning to an enemy with 100% life. I can perform a number of hits, which uses my main hand damage type, which is lightning, so that would also be good to ramp up a bit early on. So probably grab that at 4 points. Let's see, only 1 direction here. That guy is 1 range, but he has quite a bit of HP. Hits for 1,000 damage, but I have 90% dodge against him, I think. Let's ramp up a bit first, and then I'll maybe try and move down through here with the free adjacent hits. Actually, these guys are dying, so I can kite up here a bit anyways. Just keep building up charge. 148. We're also taking some doom stacks, which is extra damage when I get attacked. But they will never be able to attack me. Some one-range squishy guys. Those guys are pretty weak. Grab my free adjacent attack on him to ramp up faster. Again, we have only one spot to move over here, so that could be risky. The red flower blooms, so we have a boss here. He has a lot of resistances, but no lightning. He summons a bunch of stuff. On an ally death, he performs an attack against an adjacent enemy, so we want to be careful going into melee on him. He also does an extra attack if you go close to him anyways. On player step, he buffs himself, and then on hit, he applies a bunch of stuff. So we want to kite this guy, basically. To 164 charge. That's nearly 1,000 damage on everything. Shocking stuff for like 1,000 damage, 906. Heliot over there, but not for long. I don't normally go a lot into Vigor, but I feel like this build is strong enough and scales hard enough that I just want a lot of survivability here. The longer the fight goes, the better for us with all the charge and stuff. And the boss is already dead without ever even seeing me there. Did I want any of that? Oh yeah, the necklace isn't bad. So we can wear that on the chest slot. I don't really even have any chests to sacrifice to that. Oh well. And then we can grab the lightning on full health. Number of extra hits. I think I just want 1 point in that for the effect on it, to ramp me up a bit early on, since I'm hitting them with global lightning damage already. Inflame, adjacent, ice attack stuff, blood damage, so nothing relevant. Maybe go for the 3 items here. 1 range, 10 range, but they only have 90 life, so my global damage should just instantly zap all those guys before I even see them anyways. There is some stuff over there and there. Yeah, that one died pretty quickly. And they're all dead. Bunch of range guys over there. And everything's dead. Several over here. I guess I'll start moving towards them since they're pretty close in case my global damage doesn't hit those ones. But it did, so not necessary. So we can sacrifice some more stuff. I don't have any gloves yet. I don't really have a helmet. That's the starting one. Don't really have much other than weapons and the chest piece currently. Physical damage. On dealing astral or fire, that could work. But that's a chest slot. Also only has a 3-tile range, which isn't super useful. Entrance summon, dealing slash damage. It's okay, but it's a weapon. Bare fist, dealing ice, no. On standstill, you perform game turn. I'm not really standing still. Bunch of stuff over here. Blunt to psychic, slash the fire. Initial attack, no. Slash the blunt, standstill. On dealing astral, 25% is dealt as lightning. Okay, that's really good. So that triggers extra instances of lightning damage, which will go with the prestige class to generate even more charge for me. And that is a pant slot. That might be best in slot unless there's a lightning to astral version. Then for enemies here, 1 range, decent amount of life. 5 range, but fairly squishy. 1 range, 10 range, but extremely squishy. 10 range, and also extremely tanky. Those guys might be an issue. Let's see what they have. Apply 2 sickness to 2 enemies and 2 tiles. Being dealt a lot of damage, they then reduce damage. On attack, deal poison. On kill, poison. On player step, they gain repulsion, but I'm not really going to be attacking them, so that shouldn't be super relevant. Those guys are strong, but if I can kite, it's definitely doable, and I do want the pants, so we're going for it. Let's see. I guess I'll scout out with my global stuff. It looks like there's a bunch of stuff up here. I'll take some more survivability for this area. So I'm going to try and stay around this area, I think. Oh, they're all dead. Okay. That works. This is a small area. There is a lot of stuff happening right now. I guess I can funnel them into this path, and then all of the line shots should AoE everything in the path. I guess I probably don't want to stay on that square though. Okay, those are all dead. What did I want next? On initial attack, no. The on attack part might help, but 6 points is pretty expensive for that. Probably not. Summon, summon. Spark form. Every attack deals 10 lightning damage to all units in 2-tile range on attack. And then it also gives a bunch of speed. The downsides on that don't matter since my block armor and attack range will already be 1 anyways. And it does give a bunch of speed early on. It's not terrible. What about other astral stuff? It deals astral on hit, but it's 6 points. Never standing still. I think these are mostly teleport stuff. That's a summon thing. Summon, summon. Probably don't want any of that. Maybe go another point into the electromancy now. It does ramp up the charge on the hit, but 4 points for that when I'm not hitting that often, probably not. Yeah, I think we probably just pump the electromancy next. A lot of stuff up here, a lot of lightning going through them. So they're all focused over here now, and they're all dead now. The one thing is, if I really want to maximize my damage, I need to be within a 2-tile range for the zaps from this. But also, if I get enough charge stacks, then anything will kill them anyways. We have one guy right here. He has 100 HP, so that's nothing. bunch of 200 HP guys, those shouldn't matter. Now they're all over here, so I can kite on this side. We have another point for the electromancy now. Willpower is probably the highest damage now. Most of my damage is coming from the prestige class, which just deals a flat amount of damage. And then I have a bit from this staff that does some speed scaling, but mainly just the charge stacks, I think. Yup, over 500 damage to everything. That guy has 100 HP, so that shouldn't matter. There's a few more things up here, but I can just move back a bit and they should all die. Then now we have a bunch of area to run over here. And everything's dead. A lot of items here. Oh, the Hierophants. We have a boss here, and he's right up here. A Wizard Priest. 75% lightning resistance. Could take a bit. He applies sickness in a 2-tile range. Protection, harm. So we probably just run away from this guy and let the AoE kill everything else, and then the charge stacks will eventually kill him. It looks like I can go up through here. By the time I get over there, basically any trash mob should be dead, probably. And then we can just move back and forth, ramp up the charge stacks, and keep blasting him. It will take a while because of the lightning damage resistance, but I don't think there's anything he can do to me if I just move back and forth. And I can see exactly where he is with these zaps going over there. And he's dead, even with all that resistance. So now we have possibly the best in slot pants, dealing even more lightning based on the small amount of astral I have. Oh, one thing is, I think that 25% damage will scale again with damage buffs like the willpower percent and the flat damage from charge. So that 25% might actually deal more than the initial hit as well. Then we can sacrifice some weapons. Don't have a slot there yet, but I could probably sacrifice the pants now. It'll give me some extra armor on top of the life. Per ally, psychic damage, slash damage. On Pierce, deal lightning. I don't think that really fits the build here, not dealing Pierce. On attack, perform a hit. On killing, heal. +1 stacks of any charge applied by you, and 1 charge on kill. Okay, there's the best in slot helmet. Poison, psychic, extra attack against adjacent. It would work, but I already have good pants. On attacker standstill, physical damage, astral or psychic. That would work, but it's not best in slot, and we have the best in slot helmet over here for the charge stacks. 5 range, 250 damage. 10 range, but 90 life. Those are the guys that get zapped instantly, so this side should be fine. Yeah, they're already dead. And they're already dead. And they're already dead. So now we have the best in slot helmet, and every source of charge generates even more stacks, and we even get them on kill. So now we can sacrifice all helmets for that. Weapons are fine. Don't have any gloves yet. But that'll give us quite a bit more life. Armor is limited, so we don't actually gain anything from sacrificing armor now that I think about it. Yeah, I guess I don't really need to wait on those then. Forgot my block and armor are completely limited. Blunt damage, physical, ice damage, physical, slash and berserk, summoned allies. So this one for more items. 20 range with 350 damage is a bit scary, but I should have 90% dodge against them, and I do have a decent amount of healing that I haven't really been using with the prayers anyways, so I think it's fine. Oh yeah, with the willpower healing amplify, that should be a full heal every time I use it as well. Looks like a lot up here, so we can go to the other side and they're all dead. Didn't want any of those, they're just sacrifices. Got another level for Electromancy. Well, my damage should be insane in a 2-tile range if I ever need to rely on that, but the charge stacking is just making my global damage so high anyways. Inflame, Prayer, Summon, Shrug off or block, nope. Slash and Scorch, block, Corrosion, weird helmet, slash and entangle, blunt damage, physical, nothing is relevant, so we could go for the most items. Those guys have a lot of life and a lot of damage, but they're one range. Let me see if any of their abilities are bad for me. On kill, if I step adjacent to them, it would be bad. If I attack them, they would apply debuffs to me. And if they hit me, it would be bad. On a game turn, they have a 2-range debuff. And on death, they will cause me to take more damage from attacks. And then they have extra bonuses on attacking. So they are dangerous, but if I can stay away from them, they can't do anything to me. And they have minus 100% lightning resistance, so they should actually die very quickly. So we'll go over here, see what the global range stuff tells us about their position. And they're dead. With a bunch of stuff to sacrifice. Physical, 20 speed, that would have been okay early on, but don't need it now. Corrosion shield and flame, blood and physical. On standstill, nope. On step, perform a hit against an adjacent enemy, dealing damage to yourself. A really heavy shield, fire damage, freeze. So 0 relevant items, this one has a lot more. These guys have 3 range with a decent amount of damage. And some auras. But they don't have too much life. There are a bunch over here. But not anymore. Now there are none. Standstill, stacks of doom. On dealing death, psychic, or lightning, I apply doom to the target, but that's only relevant if I then attack them afterwards, and I have the best in slot helmet, so that doesn't even matter. Death to astral, but those are pants. Summon. Standing still, nope. So this has more items. They're both one range. Iron Giants are a bit nasty in melee, but at only 5,000 life and no resistance, we can kill them pretty quickly now. Once I get enough charge stacks anyways. And you can see how many actions I get compared to them with the 100 speed cap. These guys have 10 speed, so they can't even get close to me anyways. Bunch of serpents. I mean, slow, tanky enemies are super easy for me, since the charge stacks will eventually blast them. Looks like nothing up here. And more sacrifice HP. Entangle, bleed, armor. Oh, I can't even get armor anyways. Weird helmets, sash. Looks like nothing relevant. This has more items, 1 range. 3 range, moderate damage, some lightning resistance, but only 2,000 life. Shouldn't be too bad. Jesus. 300 charge in 1 turn, 1,500 damage to everything. And some inflame sacks if I ever need to melee anything. I do have a lot of doom, which is risky if they ever attack me, but with all those charge stacks, they should just die now. Looks like a bunch over here and here. I can't really get over to that side very easily, but I do have a lot of speed. And they're dead. Jesus, it feels like there's so many more effects going off all of a sudden now. So we have just one path to the Horror Giant boss now. Anything good over here? Astral on adjacent attack with empty armor, nope. Summoned allies, death or poison, standing still. An astral weapon, but we are fine on weapons. And then this guy. Adjacent attack, adjacent shrug off. Enemy stepping next to him, adjacent attack. Player stand still. We're not standing still or going adjacent to him, so just kiting here. Bunch of debuffs on hit. We do have some ranged guys over here, 1200 HP. I might want to try and melee him if it's necessary. So we can do the adjacent attack stuff to blast this ranged guy down, and then we can hit those guys with the global damage. There's a lot of area over here and here, so kind of risky to step in either direction, but I have to. One range guy up there, one range over there. I can probably move towards this guy, but not if there's a bunch of stuff over here. One range, 5 range on that one. I could actually move right next to this guy and probably finish him off with my melee stuff. and those guys are dead from the global damage now, and we have plenty of room to kite. Bunch of range over here. It would take me 2 steps to get to this guy. Let's see, I have 90% evasion against all of them, and they don't hit that hard, so I can go for the melee on them to help burst them down. Oh my god, that's a lot of effects. Some range guys over here. Let's see what I can see with my global damage. Looks like a bunch of stuff in the top left as well. Oh, that guy has really long range. They're all dead, so now I can just kite over to here. Melee here, 3 steps to get to him. Might want to go for that since he'll be able to hit me anywhere up here. And he's dead. Yeah, the closer they are to me, the more likely that my global path attacks will run through them as they're hitting long-range enemies as well. So they also die a lot quicker from that as well. We have a melee 2 steps from here. I mean a range 2 steps. 5 range, 1 range. Should probably try and blast him down. How's my encumbrance still? I think that's good. Yeah, I have 6 strength. Screen. So we can grab another Electromancy now. Even more speed and charge applied. There are a lot of range guys over there. Huh. Nowhere to run either. Let's see, am I in range of these ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't think so. So the best option might be to move around here, let these 3 hit me, and then the path attacks will go to the back ones and kill these ones a bit faster. But if I try to close the distance, then I'll be in range of 6 to 8 enemies, might be kind of bad. Oh, the Horror Giant's here as well. And he summoned a bunch more. Okay, good thing I didn't run up there. But it looks like the path AoE absolutely obliterated them. And we got 316 charge on a single turn. What's that? Agni Idol, 40,000 health. 2,500 armor means that... Actually, I do beat that with my hit damage, so I can hit it. Yeah, I may as well move into melee of the idol then and finish that off, I think. My accuracy is 2.3. It has no dodge. So now the Horror Giant is over there. We'll want to avoid the melee and stepping next to him. But we are super ramped up. And if I move up here, I can maybe get some paths through both of them. Oh, the other one's dead now. So we just run away from him now and let the charge blast him. That's 2,500 damage on everything. And even more HP. Let's see, we are now in the void area, final place before the final boss, I think. Fire and ice. Doom. On hit, deal lightning to enemies at any range based on speed. It's not bad, but I'm not using the hit stuff that much. And I think my stuff is already better. That's on every step, and then that's best in slot. So yeah, I don't think that's relevant, even though it's not bad. So we'll just go based on the enemies here. Each one has one item. One range, one range. I think those have some teleporting stuff. It's when they hit you, and they're one range, so that shouldn't really happen. I remember the wasps are pretty easy, 2000 life. Those guys have 3 range, moderate damage, but they're pretty squishy. That seems pretty easy. We do have a bunch on either side. No matter where I move, they can hit me a bit. If I move here, then I should be a bit out of range of one of those. Probably in range of 2 on either side. So we killed one of them, leaving me in range of only 1, so I can just freely move in this direction now. And they're all dead. Yeah, squishy enemies also just die instantly. I'm going to be in range of one of these, it looks like. This one should have a lot of paths going through it to distant enemies, so he might just die instantly. Those are melee, so not really an issue to me. I'm actually out of range of all of these anyways, unless I move up here. Sun Mask. On being attacked, deal astral, repeat with fire. Don't need a helmet. That's the only path it looks like. Yeah, I can't move to either side. Looks like only stuff over there. Oh yeah, those guys have a lot of range, I think. Can't see their stats on here, can I? Oh, 20 range, yeah, that could be dangerous. Those guys have 6 range, so it could be dangerous if I go out into line of sight, but I don't need to on this level. Hopefully there's nothing over here. But I think there's a certain range that they can't spawn within you, so they might not even be able to spawn over here. The Blood Void. This guy killed one of my summoners because he keeps healing and ramping up whenever he kills something. So that was pretty annoying. Dealing poison, nope. Block on standstill, nope. Two-handing. Let's see, he has 3000 damage, which is pretty dangerous. And I don't really need to fight him for any of those items. If he spawns like right on top of me, he might just one-shot me. Well, if he like spawns in a way where he cuts off my movement, I mean, he could then close in on me. So there's not really any reason to go there. Those ones do have the 20 range. But they won't one-shot me if they hit me. Demon up there, only one range. And they're too slow to get anywhere near me anyways. Let's see, on initial attack or attack. Attack stuff hasn't been super relevant. A lot of the bosses have had dangerous stuff in melee. So probably just want to keep pumping the Electromancy for the long range power. Demon, one range. Slash damage. On step, if enemies live, perform all standstill actions. It's interesting, but I have the best in slot helmet for the charges. On self, any unit teleports? Nope. So none of those matter. Those have 2000 HP 2 range, 2500 1 range, that's pretty easy. 5000, a lot of range, looks a bit harder. A lot of range. So this looks pretty easy, squishy melee dudes. We are in a small area and there's something right up here. But not anymore, there isn't. Oops. So we have one path here into the final boss, the King of Many Colors. 1 range, 20 range on those. 1 range, 1 range. Those have a decent amount of life as well. And what's the boss have? A bunch of summons. On hit, he teleports the target. On kill, that's not relevant to me. On hit, he teleports to a random location and heals. On hit, he applies a bunch of speed debuffs, that would be annoying. And on player summon, that's not relevant to me. I think he has some range as well. Yeah, 10 range. We probably want to kite away from him so that he can't put the speed debuffs on me. But these guys are all short range, so they shouldn't really matter to me. Then we get probably our final point in Electromancy for even more charge generation. So that skill alone gives me 8 charges on every single step, and with my 100 speed I can do multiple steps in every turn. $425 charge. Then if I need to melee, 68 inflame as well. I can melee for 3.5k when I'm not really even built for that. Plus the charge damage on top of that, I think. And then that one right there is getting hit by every single path effect, hitting all those guys. That one's getting hit by a lot of them. So we're probably getting close to the boss now. There's a ranged guy right there, he should die now. So here's the boss. We want to try and avoid the line of sight since he is long range and has some nasty speed debuffs on him. One wasp does not really pose an issue to me. Looks like he summoned something right on top of me and I did a bunch of adjacent attacks to it, which gave me 408 charge stacks on a single turn. So I guess thanks for the help. I can use this to heal up the small amount of damage I took there, and it should give the charge back anyways from a kill. Oh yeah, I might want to stay next to the wall to help avoid line of sight against him. I can toss another quick heal. Oh, he's dead? Was that the boss fight? I heal for 14,000. I shock the King of Many Colors for 26,000. Electromancy 6,000. Charge 3.3 thousand. Willpower 16,500. The boss is just dead, Jesus. Well, I guess that's the run then. 112 glory. The movement speed build looking kinda busted. Got two very good lightning weapons very early into the run. Then the best in slot mask. A very good pair of pants. The necklace was okay, but not super relevant. Electromancy 8 levels, 1 and a bunch of unique effects there. That prestige class seems pretty insane, to be honest. And we put a lot of points into survivability just because we ramp up so much in the fights. But there should be a bunch more unlocks now. $4.9 million damage. Highest damage was 26,000 against the boss there, I guess. Highest applied effect, 672 charge. Could have gone way higher if the enemies ever lived through that, but they did not. Man, that's a lot of unlocks. I actually have most of them now. Let me see if I can find the new stuff that I just got. On teleport per empty armor slot, deal astral damage. On standstill, teleport to a random tile. On game turn, remove stasis. Okay, that's cool. Some interesting teleport stuff. On entrance, grant 1 charge. I think I had him. I guess that's the only culture I got there. Secutor. If enemies live, apply a random martial effect to yourself. Heal yourself equal to the highest stacks. Okay, a pretty strong martial fighter there. Poise, evasion, anoint, or inflame. Seems pretty solid all around. I think I... Oh, this is new, and that would have actually worked for the build I just did. That has a 4-tile range and does damage based on dexterity times willpower. I think that would be better than who I just used, but I didn't have him there. Oh well. 1 stacks of any meditate applied by you. Oh, sick! I can do an insane meditate build with that, wow. Peltest. On step, apply mark to all visible enemies. Equal to your attack range. Okay, that's a pretty crazy martial ranged attacker then. Prayers bestow dream and deal ice/psychic damage. Per stack of dream, up to 10 summon a phantasm at a random tile. Perform a hit against an enemy in a 4-tile range. On prayer, apply dream, which lowers your dodge and speed, but deals ice and psychic to the closest enemy on game turn or standstill. The speed penalty is rough, though. I feel like you're going to bring yourself down to the minimum speed, which I think you would need some strength to increase your minimum speed then. But that does seem kind of interesting with the other dream thing. On standstill, you apply a ton of dream stacks on top of that, so that could work maybe. Who else did I get? Oh yeah, there's the prayers as well. 20 per stack of dream and remove freeze. multiply dream equal to your current stacks of dream. So you double your dream every time, and you get 2 charges in every area. So every area you could quadruple your dream, maybe more if you have ways to recharge your prayer. Ice and Psychic to all enemies in a 4-tile range, 10 times your dream stacks. Then we got him, I think, Poise on being attacked. Heal yourself for 20%, remove all non-poise effects. So you can literally only go poise if you're using that one prayer. Blunt damage to the furthest enemy equal to your missing life. One charge when you're dealt damage by an enemy, so you can get a lot of charges on that. Extra attack against an adjacent enemy. An extra attack for each point of inflexibility. Picking up armor, transform it into a vestige. Inflexibility set to 0, encumbered set to 1 plus 10% astral resist. That seems pretty good, so you don't need a lot of strength. Assuming it keeps the stats as it normally has. Transform a weapon into a shimmering orb, counts as bare fist, encumbered set to 1, range set to 2, damage type set to astral. Okay, seems like a pretty good fister god, maybe? You can convert any weapon into a bare fist. That makes it a lot easier to do a monk-style build. Heal yourself to full, 1 charge when you pick up and transform an item. Summon 3 tentacles at random tiles, 1 charge when you attack with a bare fist. And they inherit your main hand hit damage. Summon 6 tentacles. On attack/block, if single-handing, deal pierce damage to 2 enemies in a 2-tile range. 10% of your offhand hit, interesting. Picking up a shield, transform it into a hoplon. The hit and block are doubled, and the weapon size is set to 6. It transforms your class weapon if it is a shield. I wonder if you, like, sacrifice all of your items to your offhand there to make that damage higher. Heal yourself equal to block, 100 or 50% block chance if this prayer is fully charged. So if you leave that fully charged, you would easily max out your block chance. 50 pierce to the closest enemy, repeat an amount of times equal to your weapon size. Permanently upgrade your offhand item 30 base hit damage. Okay, yeah, you can get a lot of offhand damage there, wow. Very strong shield bashing god, I guess. Plus 20 summon limits. 2 teal prismas, attack with cold damage. Plus 1 charge when you step. 4 topaz, attack with fire damage, have vigilance against adjacent enemies. Attack all enemies at sight with astral damage. 1 charge every step. Sounds like a pretty powerful summoner. I think that was everything new I unlocked there. But yeah, there is an absolutely insane amount of customization in this game. Extremely cool actual roguelike game. No clickbait there. You have 1 out of 3 of all of these, 1 out of 3 of all of these, 1 out of 3 of all of these. You get 1 prestige class out of all of these, and then you can get like 6 different powers from 3 different elements. Absolutely insane. You can do a full movement build like I did there. You can do a full standstill build where you trigger a bunch of effects when you pass your turn. You can do a full attack build. You can kind of do a full prayer build maybe as well, which might be kind of similar to a standstill stuff as well. But you can utilize the god powers a lot with that. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this game. Ton of customization, ton of stuff to unlock and look forward to. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.